Hi Leos, welcome to your reading for the month of April. How you guys doing? Hope all is well. Definitely excited about this spring equinox energy. And for you guys, I really am sensing that this is this period that's coming up that because we're also in a fire sign energy again, finally some fire. It's your fellow fire sign Aries season, and we'll have a new moon in your ninth house, and I feel like certain things that connect to your core value, your core existence, things that bring you that sense of life source, things that inspire you and motivate you, make you feel good, make you feel excited. All of those things, I'm sensing that that's coming more to a forefront again for you. So when it comes to a ninth house new moon, it's about great energy to like start something new. And when it comes to ninth house, it's like, for example, learning a new language, or going back to a certain in-depth workshop about something, a master class, or actually starting a new study, basically. But it all connects to what you feel inspired by, what you feel like intrigued by, and all of those things. So exciting new opportunities. Maybe it has to do with new cultures or your own culture. You want to reconnect and connect to your roots, and getting excited about it, getting sort of a little bit lost in La La Land, but in like a good way, you know? The thing is, for example, if you go to a theme park and you kind of lost your way, it's okay. It's like, oh, what's here? What's there? You know that you are in a park where it's not like you can get real lost, will always be found, and you have to, there's only one way to really exit the park, and it's through the same entrance, and exit. So get a little lost, and I feel like that's a little bit April for you guys. Like, explore, just let let the path take you, and try not to force so much on. Yeah, but I'm really looking for this attraction, and this is the only attraction I really want to go in. Like, down the pathway, you might find other things that might surprise you if you're open for it. Because if you're only focusing on, no, but I'm looking on this map and it's supposed to be here, but it's not here. I feel like, where am I in this park? And it's like, unless you like not, unless you like meeting up with people at a certain time, you could just take your time, and explore and things like that. So there's a little bit of an energy that I'm sensing. Also, when it comes to connecting with people, why not? Why not have like a little bit of maybe a drink, with some colleagues after work. That could maybe not your normal social crowd, but why not try it out, see if it works? Like, especially connecting with other people in a new way. People you might already know. People may, have been in a different way in your life. Maybe you want to explore the connection in a new way. Maybe you used to be with someone and now you're like years down the line, you kind of build a friendship. Why not? It's like, if it's possible when you both are in it in a similar energy. I'm just saying, like, if it's an opportunity and it comes to you, just be open. Because even though you are very adventurous, like an Aries and a Sag, sometimes you can also get a little bit fixed in a certain energy, and that keeps you in a place where you're not really happy, or you're not really getting the things that you wish for, that you deserve to get, and the growth and the blessings basically that come from that as well. So being open for new things and following your bliss is definitely something that is being supported. You won't find that many blocks on your way at this time when it comes to that. Okay, so I'm gonna just let you know that the new moon will be on the 1st. For some of us, it's like the last hour of March 31st. So, but let's just say 1st of April. And the full moon will happen on the 16th of April, okay, in this month. Okay, you have compassion and unconditional love. Beautiful. Compassion and unconditional love. So intertwined, interconnected. They're saying love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be, And then they say release judgment about yourself and about others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So it's a very clear message, Leo. For some of you, you might instantly, connect to it, to a situation that is like, active in your life at this time is playing out. You're like, oh yeah, well, I kind of know I have, I should think about this differently, but that stuff really hurt me, or that stuff really irks me, or that just, set me off, and I just don't feel like being around that person. I just don't feel like letting this go because I just feel like I just can't just yet. It's like it was a big deal, and I cannot just act like it wasn't a big deal. All of those feelings, but it's about releasing the weight of it. Because even though sometimes something can enlighten us and strengthen us, at the same time it can also be a burden. So you kind of end up with empty hands, in the end of the day. So love yourself and release judgment about yourself. That's the main thing as well, Leo. What type of pressure are you putting on yourself at this time? Have you been putting on yourself that is just kind of blocking the growth? Because, for example, if you have a certain goal, or if you have like a common goal with someone, really are focusing, okay, that's the end destination, that's what I want to be when it comes, for example, like your weight goal, or your school, or your career goals, or whatever it is for you personally. Sometimes we can get so lost on focusing on that goal, what I was just talking about in the theme park, right? Like, it's that attraction, I need to get there. I know I'm in the park and I'm in this surrounding, but this is not the right one. I wasn't looking for this one. I want that one, the other one. It's kind of always just putting pressure on what it should be like, and the how and the what and the when and all of the things. It's not really up to you, but it could, when you are not trusting in it and you're in such a mindset where you forcing and pushing and focusing on controlling the situation and how it should be and what it should look like and when it should happen for you, sometimes we lose track of the actual thing that it's giving us, aside from reaching the goal, aside on having the final answer, the final product. So it's important to not bully yourself towards a goal. Like only driving energy forward is because if you don't do it, you feel very bad about yourself. So you're gonna have to do it, because otherwise you have to deal with just, the bullying that you inflict upon yourself. So it's not about bullying yourself through to a goal. It's about releasing judgment, because even if you give it your all and it doesn't work and it's not happening, how is that then your fault? Because if you have this energy of that judgment, and if I'm not reaching my goals, I'm just not working hard enough. But what about the how is not really up to you, and also the divine timing of it all is a factor. But if we take that upon ourselves, we can bully ourselves out of the actual results that we're working for. So the same as with other people. They're the perfect partner, but they just need to stop doing that. But I'll make sure that they won't do that anymore, because, if they would love me, they wouldn't do that. And so, if I can just make them stop doing that, because, I will just make sure, I will just control them. I'll just, let them know that I'm, I am watching or whatever. So if I just micromanage this, then they will let go of this and that behavior. And so then they're a perfect partner for me. And then I can justify it to myself to be with these people, or whether it's friendships or it's work or whatever. A lot of times we either take the weight upon ourselves, or we put the weight with the other people in order to block the real reason why you're going on with that. I know there's a weird way of putting it, but I find better ways to put it. I'm just saying that no matter what the outward appearance may be, don't go into the fact, by understanding it through judgment or to putting a blame somewhere. There's something isn't working, so somebody should be responsible for the fact that this didn't work. For example, a marriage, if the marriage doesn't work, it's not necessarily because one or both people are to blame. It's like, yeah, but they didn't do this, or they should have done that. They should have known that I wouldn't want to do that. And, why are you putting this pressure on me? And like, if they wouldn't have put all this pressure on me, then I probably would still be in love and I still will be around. So, it's finding a reason why. But the thing is, the core values of it all, everything will play out the way it's supposed to play out. And yes, there are certain things that you can say, if they wouldn't have done that, then we wouldn't be in this situation. I understand. But the reason why they come to a point to doing certain things is also because it was just meant to happen that way. You were meant to learn from that, and they were meant to learn from that. Sometimes we gain a situation in order to lose it, in order to gain all this wisdom and all this knowledge and all this availability of loving ourselves and other people through situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. It goes deeper than that. Because the thing is that I'm talking about this because the weight that comes with that judgment or wanting to place it in a certain category, you can miss out on actually all the lessons you can learn from that, the wisdom you can gain, but also you can block the blessings of things. It could even be more beautiful. Because if you put limitation on something and it can only be that, should only be that, I only want to go to this attraction, I don't want this, I don't want that, but you don't know, because there might be something in the corner hiding that's actually the best experience out there, and it's very underrated. Don't believe everything what the hype says. You go explore for yourself. Okay, you explore yourself, what you truly want, what truly is the right thing for you to do. That's the thing with April, Leo. You explore. Go explore. You make the decision by yourself. You're more than capable of doing that. Nobody ever tried to tell Leo what they can and cannot do and what they can and cannot become. You are your own limitation, Leo. Because if you have the confidence in something, there's nobody on this entire planet that can tell you otherwise. Look at that Three of Pentacles. It really is. That third house energy, that communication, small, group of people with a like-minded, you move mountains together. It's about bringing things together, and as equally be an important part of the bigger picture. So you might be inspired this month. You might actually feel, seen and appreciated the way that you used to. So I am seeing that you are getting some major, how to put that? Very important recognition. It's very important because it's like the things you worked for. But I'm sensing there's this major thing about it. It's like you didn't expect it to come anymore, or you didn't expect it to be so, like, overwhelmingly. Especially if you bully yourself all the way up to the top, you still feel like a fraud. Because you forgot to bring compassion and unconditional love for yourself, for your pathway. Actually gives you the opportunity to really see as like, yes, I deserve it to be here. I deserve to be here. I did my best. I learned the lessons. I integrated. But look how beautiful this is. The Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles with the Six of Wands, Leo. It's very powerful. I'm sensing that everybody's reopening their eyes and like, ooh, I didn't really necessarily forgot about the Leo, but damn, it just reminded me of how majestic, like how insanely powerful a Leo can be in their strength. And the strength is not necessarily, to only have the right, the qualities that other people can admire, the only like entire strength of never, crumbling or never giving up or never. No, it's about the resilience and also the vulnerability of it, but also acceptance of self. Here we have the Seven of Swords with the Ten of Pentacles. I'm sensing some of you are just happier ever since you decided not to publicly share things about your personal life anymore. And it's like, you know what? I've never been happier. There's a period of times, like if it's not on Instagram, did you eat it? Does it count? It's a culture, almost. Instagram culture. But I'm sensing that you're understanding the things that truly bring you pleasure instead of the satisfaction you get from other people admiring what you're doing and what you're building. It's a different type of satisfaction, but one is truly satisfying to the soul and the other is truly satisfying to the soul and a little bit of the ego, on the physical realm. So the Magician and the Seven of Swords. You understand that you regain the power. And the true powerful position is when you decide what to share, what not. If you're being in the public eye, Leo, and you're being validated for almost every little and big things that you're doing, and people are being a part of it, and it's seen by the public eye, and it's being embraced by the public eye, that's literally the most vulnerable position to be in, because you can fall from that. And once you fall from that, and you no longer receive the validation from that space, what happens then? You lose the feeling of control. So the real control for you right now is to be smart about what you're opening up and what you're sharing and what you keep into yourself. And it's almost like what you are not sharing is actually the most beautiful part of it all. It's actually the thing that you validate for you. And it's a new way of looking at things. And for some of you, it's literally you kind of been looking for a certain type of partner or a certain type of, situation where for the outside world it would be like perfect. But now you kind of just like, you know what? No, like I always thought that I couldn't want that or it couldn't be that because that's not popular or it's not this or it's not that or it's not seen as. But it's like, you know what? I valued it. I am valuing that, and I actually wouldn't mind, and actually would make me feel good. So regardless of what the world says, it brings me a level of satisfaction, and that just becomes so much more important to me. The feeling that I feel, the feeling I'm receiving from doing the things that I feel guided to do is so much grander than doing the things that people expect of me or expect of the world, and then actually mastering that thing, and then getting, people applauding me for getting the thing that they set out, getting the bar that they set out for people in the public eye, and then receiving the validation from that, or the satisfaction from that is different. I'm sensing it's just different. You're transforming in different areas of your life in a new way. It's like valuing an opinion of someone you value is so much different than being controlled or in fear of opinions of people that you don't even value. Page of Cups and the High Priestess. You're very, very smart here. You're going about this so smart. I'm sensing that you are also really working on your level of manifestation, understanding that you gotta, send a certain energy out towards the universe in order to attract the things you want. And you really are wanting to break up with looking at the things that are no longer serving you. well, have never really been serving you. But I'm sensing that along on the road towards success, on that road, on that pathway, bullying yourself through it. I just gotta get up. It can be you want, I can be baby. I can be this, like, that energy that, yes, can get you out of bed, and yes, can get you on job and your work on time, or get you into the seat of creating that, and editing it and uploading it or whatever. But at the same time, it's also never good enough, and that feeling can definitely at one point um, break the power that the other side can have over you. So I'm sensing you breaking a bond with an unhealthy approach of getting things done and getting the same results, but in a much more healthier way, and then getting like double results, because you're actually also receiving a level of satisfaction from it. Look at that. I told you, double results. 10 of Cups. Okay. 8 of Wands. Yes. Things are starting to speed up for you. All I'm sensing is literally freeing yourself from emotional torture. It's gonna sound a little bit dramatic, but that's the thing. Sometimes things can torture you and you don't even know. And once you figure it out, and once you crack the code, and once you see how to release yourself from it, you can fly up so quickly. Look at that. 4 of Wands. I knew 4 of Wands would show up, because when the 3 came out, I was like, is it the 4? But no, it's a 3. And now it's the 4. It takes a little bit more work. And the thing is, if you would receive all the right, like, motivation and all the right things from actually still getting a pass on torturing yourself or pushing yourself or bullying yourself, if you would get the same results, you wouldn't go as far as doing that and releasing yourself from that as well, and having and receiving and feeling it in the right way. Okay, so King of Swords is here as well. Great. So now your masculine is on board, and that is really good. And Wheel of Fortune. But it's also because when your career grows, or when your relationship really flows and all of that, and that person at one point sees that, putting you on a pedestal puts them in a very powerful position, because if you allow them to put you on a pedestal, they know that you are receiving something from it that's valuable to you, that's necessary for you, and they can just instantly take it away. And that's what happens so many people and in so many relationships. But if you have that natural ability to know what breaks that point, like what's the breaking point, what breaks the barrier away from people actually having that powerful position for you, and how you feel yourself, and how you feel your life and your worth and your value, man, there's no stopping you. Because you're not willing to lie or to say that you're fine in order to keep on receiving something that in the end of the day is making you feel this bad, because you're not truly in the position of creating it for yourself. You are depending on other people looking at you in that way, putting you on that pedestal, accepting you, embracing you, admiring you. Now, you don't want that middleman anymore. You really are one to be your own provider in that way. And that is the most powerful and healed position to be in. And from that space, you will find so much growth, and you get so much closer to the things that are actually worthwhile. And you can love yourself right up to the top, instead of forcing yourself and bullying yourself right up to the top. And it goes for relationships, for business, for growth, for healing, for all kinds of areas. Sometimes even the friends that we keep, people we keep in our inner circle. But it's through experiencing a close bond with new type of people, or reconnecting with an old group you used to connect to and you kind of lost touch. And it's about re-entering, rediscovering a talent, a thing, you know, a type of people that bring something out in you. It's like, oh, wait a minute, there is another way. I got so lost in viewing it from that perspective that I thought that I was just kind of running out of time, or just, you know, fucking things up, and I wasn't working hard enough and all of that. It's like, yeah, you were running, but were you running the right direction, you know? I mean, I guess you did when it comes to learning the right and valuable lessons that you need in order to find the right pathway, but, you know, it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, and sometimes it takes a while before we are ready to swallow it. But once we do, we also know our ways out, and also knows that we were in this cocoon the whole time, and we weren't capable of experiencing the freedom that wings have to offer us once we got to that phase. So beautiful things on the table for you, Leo, and I'm just channeling things for you. So maybe this is not really the way that you either used to for me to do my readings, or you know, that you used to having readings, but this is the story that they want me to give you for this month. So I'm just sharing, and you know, I hope that it brought you some level of guidance, clarity. Maybe there were insert points in it, you're like, okay, wait, I can work with that, and that's just, you know, what I really want. So why I'm here. And I do it in my own way. See, like you are going to do, or that you are doing. Let go. Once you let go, look at that. Once you let go of the outcome, you'll be able to release all the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Trust in the higher good and the guidance of the universe, as we have only your best intentions at heart, and we'll do everything in our power to protect you. All right, go explore that theme park. It has more to offer than things we had in our mind before we entered a theme park, even if you have been there before. Okay. There might even be some new food stand you don't know about. Just saying, Leos like their food. All right, mwah. I love you guys. Happy spring, you know, equinox, and just take it easy. You'll find your way. You always do. All right, I love you. Bye.